Welcome to PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I am here today with our good friend, Mr. William J. Gagliardi, who did the music you just heard, and all the music, all of the soundscape of PCMC is you really set the vibe. You set the aesthetic.
The vibe. Every 100 episodes is going to be a different vibe, babe.
Yeah.
So we got to keep
How
on
many
going.
have you done?
How many have I done? Ever since episode 100. So we've had 3 or 4 main themes,
Yeah.
and every Halloween it's different.
Yeah, you do different Halloween
And every
themes.
Christmas it's different. We have
Yeah.
one for Star Wars, like whenever there's a Star Wars one.
Right. I forgot about the Star Wars one.
Have a couple of we got that little like star swipe that.
Yes.
Just a couple things here. and there.
Yeah. Oh, and then I think you also came up with like a theme for news and trailer corner, which I never use because it's more work than I want to put into this show. Really,
I've edited a podcast before, and I get it. I completely understand.
if
It's
I
there
had a
if you
machine
need
in
it.
front of me and I could press the button, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But editing it in,
No.
thank you. No, thank you. Bill, what are we here to talk about today?
Well, you and I have done a couple of what if episodes.
What if?
Fun things, like really to spark our creativity.
Yes.
You know, we are both children of media, have been exposed to a lot of things, and
Yes.
we have a lot of time on our hands and have written
I
our
actually
own
have
things.
no time. Do we really have time on our hands?
No, but
No.
there's nice commutes home
Yeah.
that we have time to think to ourselves.
A lot of the show is written when I'm on the shitter.
Nice.
How about you?
Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of my themes are on the shitter.
Nice.
Thanks to GarageBand now,
Yeah.
which has been my current obsession for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
All the music has been done on my cell phone.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
Impressive.
creativity while taking a dump, big old dump.
The
Well,
democratization of technology is what that is.
There you go. A dump of your lower colon and your mind.
Yeah.
So what have we done? We've pitched children's shows based off of R-rated movies.
Yes.
We've done prequel, sequels, and multiverse or theatrical universes.
Was that the one where you did the Rose
All
from
the
Golden Girls?
all the Golden Girls spinoffs.
Yes.
Yes.
That was that one? Okay.
Yeah.
We got a lot of episodes, folks. We got a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Look up
you-
on the feed.
What are we up? We're in the 330s now.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. We make a big deal out of every 100,
Yeah.
but every 2 years we're fucking, and we've never missed a goddamn week. It's
No.
never
Rain or shine.
COVID, fucking
Earthquakes.
everything. I've never missed
Eclipses.
a fucking episode because that is I'm here to give you an episode every
We're
Wednesday.
here to give the non-toxic fandom.
What they deserve and
What
what
they
they
deserve.
need. Yeah, we're in the let's see, the last one. No, we're in the 340s.
340s.
God damn.
What are you gonna do for the 365? Like, because you could do an episode a day. It's that's when PCMC is officially 1 year old.
Oh,
I'll
right. I get it.
I'll get you a
That
cake.
took me a second
No,
to
that's
get what
good.
you were saying. I was like, oh, I get it.
It's a dramatic pause. I love it. So yeah, we're gonna keep that creative train going.
The first episode came
Oh.
out on December 30th, 2017.
Wow.
So we're not that far off.
Was it a New Year's episode where you're like gearing up for?
Now it would be a Halloween episode, but it was the first episode.
Did you say December 30th or October 30th?
October 30th.
October 30th. Oh yeah.
Came out the day before. 27. So we're not that far from the 10 years.
That's wild.
Can you believe it?
We
folks?
we got to keep going.
I'll never
Push
stop.
ahead.
I see no reason to stop.
No.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Once these movies are made by AI, we're gonna talk about how great that AI
Oh
did.
yeah. Don't tell Anthony. All right, so today's topic, which was your idea, was our dream crossovers.
Yes.
But I think
Created by our minds, not AI.
Yes, but I think we should talk about what we mean by crossover and the kind of stuff we have.
Yes.
We both have. Oh, I have 5. I don't have any honorable mentions, but I have a few ideas that I was working on that didn't fully flesh out.
Yeah, like, you know what would be cool? This.
Yeah. All right, here's what I want to say about my list.
Okay.
couple things. One, 3 of the 5 are crossovers, meaning like characters crossover,
Okay.
like the Avengers. Or, as you mentioned when we were off the air, the classic go-to for people our age, Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
Yeah. Critic meets the Simpsons.
Or like Steve Urkel in
Step by Step.
Step by Step, or anybody on the TGIF just crossing over.
Yeah. So 3 are that way. 2 are what I would call mashups, where it's 2 pop culture properties that I've put together, but it's not like characters crossing over.
Okay.
But this is the more important thing I want to say about this list. The ideas, the concepts that I'm about to tell you are all legitimate. I really believe they would be good.
Okay.
I really would see them.
Yes.
That being said, I wrote like a little like synopsis of each idea. Those are kind of jokey. Those are me just bullshitting what it could look like, and so that's jokey.
But it could still work, though.
But the concept itself, yes, okay. I believe in these concepts themselves. I just want to see someone else make it. But if I made it, it would be the stupid details that I'm going to give you. Does that make sense?
Yes, because I did almost the same thing, and it got a little scary of how close these 2 things, like if I'm crossing them over, are actually related.
Interesting.
And we'll get into that in a little, but yeah.
You said off air that you think we might have the same of one.
You know what?
Or more.
One of my techniques was, number one, I didn't want to do anything like Doctor Who or Rick and Morty or like Sliders or like anything like Marvel Cinematic Universe, where it's like it's going to be very easy to cross something over because that's part of the plot.
Right,
so
right.
like we have to, I wanted to dig, more so into pop culture where things were connected, which was really, really hard, a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And the other thing is I wanted to play to my audience. So I tried to do it to, what is Mike like?
Sure.
Because the thing is, it's like, I only got like a little idea, and I think that you could actually build upon them.
Listen, this is like a workshop here. Yeah. We're gonna work these out.
And again, like what I said with the spin-offs and prequels and sequels, like, hey, look, we're throwing these to you. Anybody wants to go and make these, we're giving you free money here, babe.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to begin?
All right, sure. Okay. I really don't know how to pitch this one.
Okay.
But
right out of the gate.
Okay, so the Men in Black have been protecting both New York City, they're stationed in New York City, and the world for generations. They specialize in all alien life, just defending the world or having interhuman alien relationships. But however, their technology is only limited to so much. Throughout the years, there's been other supernatural things that they don't have the technology to support. For instance, back in 1984, there was a 100-foot Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking through the streets of Manhattan.
Yes, of course.
And what did they do? They neuralized the city to the best that they can. Some people forgot about it.
Yes.
There was always a question to, did this happen? Did this not? We don't know.
You fucking bet.
But you know who they didn't neuralize? The keepers of that technology.
Yes.
So what did they do later in the 90s? They started to recruit them.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen? Yeah, you could stop an alien, but you can't stop their ghost. Ghostbusters, Men in Black. Just think about this. Think about Ray, who is fascinated by the occult and like has Tobin's spirit guide and everything.
Yes.
Knows about the MIB or just knows that they're a myth. And then finally him working with Agent K like as his foil. Like this guy who's like so into just the whole mythology about it, and here's the guy who actually lives it, who's completely deadpan. And it's like, it's like kind of like you have another Egon, but like a more like
interesting.
And also, don't we want a Will Smith, like Here Come the Men in Black, Ghostbusters theme? Like Will Smith and Ray Parker Jr.
Yes.
Together.
How about this? The logo, right? You got the no, but instead of a ghost, you've got like an alien in the same kind of pose.
Yes.
No aliens, please. Fantastic. I mean, you can see Will Smith getting along with Dr. Peter Venkman.
Yeah,
They've got similar vibes. They're doing something serious, but not taking it serious.
exactly. But both excellent in what they do.
Yes.
Like the whole what I always wanted to have an answer to. Why don't people believe the Ghostbusters, even though there was this massive?
Yeah,
event.
This crossover would fix a plot hole, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's that. Yeah,
I was going into like some wild stuff where it's like the MIB we're always trying to get the ecto technology,
yeah.
but like for some reason they just can't get past ghosts, and
Right.
like so like even though they're neighbors, it's like where the Ghostbusters headquarters is versus the MIB are like 10 blocks away.
Now you do know that like there was at least, I don't know if a script was ever written, but this idea was talked about.
No, stop. Really?
Which I think it's part of the Sony leaks. At some point, Sony thought about Ghostbusters because that's the only franchises they got really, and
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And they're losing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So
yeah. This was at least thought about, and I should say one on my list is one also that was thought about and almost happened but didn't.
well, if that Ghostbusters crossover is has been thought about, then there's an episode of Real Ghostbusters that is very famous with the Boogeyman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Boogeyman travels through doors and he feeds off of fear. This is just like did you ever think?
Yes.
Monsters Inc.
Yes.
Ghostbusters is a definite thing that has happened, and they probably afraid to touch humans because the Ghostbusters killed the Boogeyman. But
That's
again,
incredible.
that's a side one.
No,
But, I mean, I
there
think
are
that's
no
a
bad
fact.
ideas in brainstorming.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, given that you started that way, I guess I should start with one with the Ghostbusters as well. So, I also talked a little bit about the form that I want them to be. So, this is an animated film.
Okay.
It's the Ghostbusters are designed like the real Ghostbusters, but it's a step up in animation. Egon's creepy uncle, Master Gracie, the owner of the Haunted Mansion, leaves it in his will to Egon. So they go to stay the night, and the mansion tries to divide them. Winston gets stuck in the stretching room. Egon meets Madame Leota and becomes sort of obsessed with her. Ray gets into a fight with the knight's armor. Peter, he sees Constance Hatchaway, the bride, in the attic, and he's like, "She's hot. I'm going to try to." Peter did this both in the movies and the cartoons. Many times Peter has tried to fuck a ghost or has been had by an attractive ghost. So
just roofied them.
Right. So Peter's like, with no sense of anything, he follows Constance Hatchaway into the attic, and then he sees the pictures of her former husbands, that she killed them all, and then much like in The Ride, where people interpret it as you die or you fall out the window and then you go into the back, that happens to Peter.
Okay.
And then the four meet back up in the sort of backyard, and that's when things are fun and there's singing and stuff. And Slimer, maybe also, again, I'm just brainstorming, like Slimer, maybe it's not Egon, that maybe Slimer's the connection, or maybe Slimer finds friends, like maybe Slimer, becomes friends with some of the ghosts in the ballroom where they're all dancing.
Now, I have a question for you now, because Slimer kind of like mixes things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Are we going with the lore from the recent movie?
No.
Okay, because
But I do like the Hatbox Ghost. I would want him in there.
Yes, but Slimer would be the 1,000th ghost.
Right. So we're not going with that.
Okay, good. Oh, thank
Well,
God.
he's not moving in. He's not staying.
Oh, okay.
He's simply visiting.
That's nice.
He's simply visiting. And this is a joke. This is not serious, but it would be funny if Winston were like, if this is the South, where are all the black ghosts? Imagine, imagine like, let's say it takes place in the 80s as well, or early 90s. It's the Real Ghostbusters style. It would look really good. I mean, how many episodes of Real Ghostbusters are almost like this?
That there actually is one where they do go to a haunted house.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about Foolish Mortal Enemies?
No.
Have I ever told you about Foolish Mortal
No.
Enemies? The crossover you just described, do you have more to it?
No, that's it.
The crossover you described is a game that me and my son Peter play
Really?
called Foolish Mortal Enemies, where he dresses up like a Ghostbuster
Yeah.
and he catches me and brings me into the Haunted Mansion.
Wait, yes. I believe you sent me videos of this.
Because he doesn't put me in a containment grid. He puts me into some place where I would like to be. And it's like, great,
That's
I'm here at
nice.
a party.
That's nice.
That's the whole. I'm dressed as the ghost host in this because I was the ghost host.
Sure.
I have the costume,
Yes.
so I'm the ghost host. He's the he's the Ghostbuster.
Interesting.
So yeah, Foolish Mortal Enemies.
I love it.
Love it. It's two heartwarming franchises.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these two things go together really well.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what? The Ghostbusters, like, you could put them in anything paranormal and it will work.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I think they would easily go well with Men in Black.
You could just do a whole episode on like where Ghostbusters could go to.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me another one.
All right. This one you might like a lot. Okay, so on their wedding anniversary, Zed and Rita Repulsa
Yes.
want to take a little vacation, but they still need to take over Angel Grove.
Of course.
But
Of course.
they ran out of molds to make their
Putties.
All right, so they got plenty of putties.
Okay, sure.
But because they also had the molds from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for their, let's just call them kaijus.
Yeah. Yes, they're kaiju.
They are kaijus. They still need to take over Angel Grove, but they don't have, like, they want to go on their vacation, but they need to do something before they leave. But they ran out of kaiju molds. So Rita uses her magic wand, and she possesses an existing kaiju to come to Angel Grove.
Yes.
I have nothing else for this. Just I want Godzilla vs. Power Rangers.
Well, you're in luck because it's a comic that exists already.
Stop! Really?
Yeah, I've read it.
I think a lot of these exist already. Because all right, tell me about this comic.
It's not that. It is. First of all, I don't think it fulfills its potential. Yours might be better.
Well, because then he'll be better, and then but it's like, no, they also got like Mothra, and they got the names of the monsters more than I do.
Wait, do you know who the Exilians are?
No,
They're an alien race from the Godzilla movies that are often using kaijus to try to take over the planet.
Okay.
Rita runs into them.
Okay.
And they hook up, and they I guess, are they in different dimensions? I don't remember. The coolest part is when the Green Ranger's Dragon Zord fights Godzilla. That's pretty cool.
It's Mecha Godzilla versus
Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else happens in it. At one point, Godzilla turns good.
Yeah.
And fights with the Megazord.
That's what's
against
happening
a third
in this
thing
too.
Right.
Because that's
Right.
what has to happen.
It has to happen.
Like either they have more kaijus or Goldar comes on in. It's like, okay, we have a mutual enemy. So
I think at one point a bunch of the other kaiju from the original Godzilla movies show up. It's more the cover's really cool, but I feel like the story was a little lacking. I just got a new comic which I haven't read yet. Have you heard of this comic? It's called Godzilla Here There Be Monsters or Here There Be Dragons. Is that what it's called? It's a Godzilla story, but in like ancient times. So it's like him against like Vikings, and they think he's a dragon.
Which, I mean, rightfully so.
Here's Godzilla v Power. That's the thing.
Like
I had this problem with my list too, because a lot of things exist in comics.
Like,
a lot of things exist
how
in
much of this
comics.
do you think like you were on TeePublic and like just some fan art was made and you're like, and then you probably saw it 4 years ago and then a lot of these just popped up. But you know what? Here's the plot to it. But
yeah, one well, when we get to it, I'll tell you. But there was one that I was really into, and then I like Googled it, and I saw like it doesn't exist, but like 5 other people like made parodies of it and like their own fake posters of it. And I was like, this idea is so used.
But that's the
I
message.
thought I had it.
Yeah, but that's the message. Like, make it.
Yeah.
Anything could be made now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for that.
No.
I do think the comic could have been better. And I like the Power Rangers comics, but it felt like, I don't know, it could have been better.
And I'm sure that in some time in the 30-year run, they've had a Godzilla-like monster.
Sure.
Or like 14 of them.
Sure. All right, let me tell you one that I don't know if it was ever. It's something that it's not my idea, and I don't know if it was ever going to happen.
Okay.
Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
That's been demanded, and it must happen. But
So
why
the
for you?
fans have wanted it for a long time.
Yes.
I think the reason why it never really happened was that outside of like the fandom of horror hounds, Ash is not nearly as well known as Freddy and Jason.
Yes.
And I think that's the main reason it didn't happen. But there were, I think, scripts. Bruce Campbell would have done it.
Yeah.
He wanted to win, which of course he should have because he would have been a good guy.
Yeah.
In my mind, the one I've sort of dreamed up here would have been like right after Freddy vs. Jason, like 2 years later.
Okay.
So it's like a younger, it's not Bruce Campbell now. So my idea is like there's just like a big hellmouth that opens somewhere, and Ash sees in the Necronomicon that to close it, he has to defeat Freddy and Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So Ash goes to hell to find them, and now it's basically like Kill Bill or like a video game of just boss fights, and it's Ash making its way through hell.
That's cool.
And then, but I don't know who's the big bad. Like I don't know if Jason's the last person or Freddy's the last person. Because Jason's more like brutal, and Freddy's smarter and can speak and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy was the one pretty much like he was the puppet master. So like he was
Right.
really the bigger bad. He was
Yeah,
really,
they
you know,
make
Jason
Jason
was
more
born.
like vulnerable actually in
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so I guess you make Freddy more the big bad.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen the trailer for In a Violent Nature?
Yes. I can't wait. You know what I love about that more so than it's in Jason's perspective or, you know, Jason-esque perspective, that every single shot in that with him is an over-the-shoulder third person like you're playing like a Resident Evil game,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yeah, it's if you don't know it, it's a movie that's coming out that is basically like a Friday the 13th movie, but if it were for Jason's point of view. And it's supposed to be, and it looks beautiful, by the way,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be horrifying, but also like funny in an ironic way, and it just looks fucking incredible.
Yeah. We need more movies like that.
The plot is that somebody takes a magic locket and that wakes him up, and he's trying to find the locket, and he's just
that's
gonna
cool.
murder campers along the way. And like even in the trailer, you see him like now he has a mask on. You see him like move. It's and he's moving slow too. I can't wait to see it.
It's all but the name Jason and the hockey mask. But like,
Right,
you actually realize how much you don't need that stuff for a good Friday the 13th
Yeah,
movie.
because it opens you up more. You know what I mean? If it weren't like a direct Friday the 13th movie, it looks really cool.
But to talk about with connecting Jason to Evil Dead is Jason Goes to Hell when they're
Right.
like, I forget where they're in, but you see the Necronomicon.
Yes, and also
Freddy's claws are in there too, aren't they?
yes, in the very end. But also like remember the Necronomicon comes with like a dagger or something. You see that dagger.
Yes.
That prop is in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yes. It's all in the same area, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but they've been wanting it for a long time. But yes, it's because Ash is not that big of a character.
Right. This is not on my list, but I know for a little while they were toying around that time. They were toying with Pinhead versus Michael Myers, but I can't see really how that would work.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Pinhead is like he's like an angel demon from like, and Michael Myers is just a dude who's got aggression issues.
It's not only that Freddy and Jason were the two biggest competitors for slasher movies in the 80s. It's just that they are the polar opposites as well. Like,
Right.
in order for there to be a movie, you need the stoic hulking guy and the spry, like, wild man.
Right, and one died drowned in water, one was burned,
Yeah.
which I think the movie Jason vs. Freddy gets a lot out of that imagery.
Yeah.
You know, like it's interesting because we live in the world of the cinematic universe, But like when we were kids, there wasn't a lot of this. There was like Jetsons with the Flintstones, and like it would always be something like that, and it would be like a big deal. But now, like, it's so common, and we've even gotten to a place now where like they've gotten into the multiverse shit, where like now things can meet. You can meet things even if they're not in continuity. Like supposedly in this new Deadpool movie, you're gonna see some of the other Spider-Men.
Yeah,
maybe Tobey Maguire.
There was a false post, or they denied it, that like Ben Affleck's Batman's going to be in it. It's like that's crossing way too many lines.
You could do anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big cross. It's not on my list, but do you remember? It was like a year-long thing, DC versus Marvel.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that hasn't been turned into movies yet.
Movies or video games or anything like
Yeah, I remember. The storyline I remember the most was Robin and Jubilee falling in love.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
No, I never read the comic. Like the
comics are interesting. I mean, it's not a great story. It's basically like who is interesting with who, and have them fight or interact.
I mean, I just remember being in the schoolyard and saying like, "Oh, Superman and Thor." It's like, yeah, but like Storm really goes with Thor, but it's but they're both kind of gods. Like, so it's like you kind of like. And it's like, no, then, Thor should be with Wonder Woman. And it's like... Right. And you go on for hours.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure this out. Just, it's like that... oh, God, what was the name of that show? Oh, scratch it.
But I wonder if we've pushed that pleasure button too much.
I think we have.
Like, I remember just going back to Iron Man in 2009, like, seeing Nick Fury, who's, like, not a big character.
Yeah.
And having him actually played by Samuel Jackson, which is like what he looked like in the comics at that point, was just like, this is crazy. Because no superhero every superhero movie before that was just like a single story of a superhero. And they never did it like that. And then the same year, Iron Man shows up in the Hulk movie, and now it's just like,
well, Mike,
it's commonplace.
I think we have a remedy to that. Because, anybody will do anything for the right amount of money. Movies aren't making money anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to, like, and maybe that's what Deadpool's doing, because it's like, we're going to put everybody in this, but, like, you're also hitting the reset button. Like, I really, really hope that it's hitting the reset button and, like, starting everything over. It's like, hey, this is everything. And then, like, we understood what we did. It was a little too much.
I don't know if it's starting everything over. I think it's going to be starting Fox over.
Okay.
Like I think like Deadpool, like this is the way to get Deadpool and the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Without rebooting them. But
have you been watching X-Men 97?
No, but there's going to be an episode of PCMC on it.
Oh, I'm excited to hear it. I've been following it.
Do you like it?
Everything but the dialogue. The dialogue's a little cheesy, but otherwise the story's fantastic.
It probably always was, right?
It was.
All right. Tell me another one from your list.
All right. This one's a little fun, but I think it would work so well. It could be either a movie or it could be a 5-minute short. I'm not even going to pitch it. The only thing I'm going to say is, like, you were just talking about Freddy vs. Jason. I was trying to figure out, like, another monster thing, a little bit more modern. And it was like Chucky versus Annabelle, or, like, you get, like, Michael Myers versus Jason. It's like, they're just going to be quiet. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to do a monster versus another monster. So I wanted to go more on the route of Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. So I was like, what's the more modern version of that? And what I came up with was Beavis and Butthead meets Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Picture this.
From
Saw.
From Saw.
So Beavis and Butthead are sitting on their couch. They're watching their music videos.
Right.
And they're flipping through the channels, and Jigsaw comes on.
Right.
He's like, I want to play a game. And then Butthead's like, okay.
They don't get it.
Yeah, they don't get it.
They don't get what's happening.
But however, they yes end along to the whole thing. But they're like, this sucks, change the channel.
Yeah,
they try to change channel, they can't change channel. Like, the doors are locked. You're gonna have to mutilate your friend. He's like, okay. So then, and like, they do it. Like, there's like a lot of blood and stuff, but they're just boneheads.
Yeah.
To the point where Beavis can't stand being inside. Well, he doesn't care about being inside, but he can't watch his music videos anymore. Yeah. So he goes berserk. He turns into Cornholio and like breaks through the wall or something.
That's incredible.
Like, that's it. That's all you need. And it's the crossover of the century.
No, it's good. I think that's a good idea, because what does Jigsaw do if no one is afraid or plays along? Like, if they're just like, they don't get it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, No, but
Yeah, this isn't working.
right. You like he would be taking him back.
Yeah. It's the only way to defeat Jigsaw.
There's an episode of the new Beavis and Butthead series where they go to an escape room, but they accidentally go into the bathroom and they think the bathroom's an escape room. It's fucking hilarious. And it's that kind of humor of like they're just so stupid. Like them not getting it.
Yeah.
Or maybe like if Jigsaw does use the TV, like they think it's a video and they're like, "Oh, this video sucks. Change the channel." And
or they think it's cool at first. They think it's like a Tool video or something.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And it's like, where's the music?
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And also because Beavis and Butthead, especially the early ones, like were really violent. Like they cut each other's fingers off and shit. Like real violent shit. So like.
Or he bounces a pencil once and it goes into his eye.
Yeah. Like there would be no stakes. Like in the next episode, they'd be fine.
Yeah.
So you can definitely have like real violence like that.
Yeah.
And then like every adult in Beavis and Butthead, eventually Jigsaw would give up and be like, you know what, you kids are ruining it. Like this is bull, and he would just give up.
Yeah.
And then he'd get arrested, and then some cop would be like, "You two are heroes," and they'd be like, "Ow, what?" Like it's always just everyone around. They're always not really participants in the narrative, which is what's great about Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead do Saw.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
There's got to be a boing at some point. You know?
Oh yeah. But I love Cornholio coming out as like he's gonna.
That's when he goes into berserker mode because it's not that he gets it, but like he's just had enough.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be like, we're going to be trapped in here forever, and we're not going to score.
Right. They should think. Are there any females in that world of Saw? They should like have a woman that's not into them, but they think is into them because she says something that they misconstrue as sexual. It just makes me think how good Beavis and Butthead is. We've different episodes of Beavis and Butthead on this podcast. Look up on the feed. That's good. I think that.
Did you think in 2024 I'd be doing a Beavis and Butthead impression?
No,
like, I mean it's been in SNL, so it's been in.
Yeah, that's weird, right? And then
they didn't do the voices or anything. Though.
Yeah, they don't even know Beavis and Butthead. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's what they say on the show. This is not on my list because I think it's going to happen. They've been talking about Megan versus Abigail.
Okay.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen Megan, but I've heard you talk about it so much, and it's like that's something I gotta see.
Megan's really good. I thought Abigail's even better. Abigail's really good, but it would be. I mean, come on, that's a crossover we all need, right?
Yeah.
Megan versus Abigail. Okay, so here's one that's a mashup, and I don't know if this one's fun. Janine would like this one. What if? For an episode of Love, Death, and Robots, they did Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are.
And do what with it?
So I would want it to be produced by either Axis Studios or Blink Industries. Axis Studios did The Tall Grass.
Okay. Yes.
Which has that sort of like impressionistic, like painterly kind of style.
That was the one with the train.
Yes.
Okay.
And Blink Industries did All Through the House, which was the Santa Claus one, which is stop motion.
Yes.
So actually, they can both do it because I'm thinking like it'd be like in the real world where you have like Max and his mother, like that could be like The Tall Grass. But then as he transitions to Where the Wild Things Are, then it could go stop motion.
I love it.
Instead of the other way around, I think it would be more obvious. But I like the idea that the Wild Thing world looks more real.
But we're not doing a riff on it. We're just doing a retelling of the story.
Right. Like
that, I think would be better.
Yes, just like literally like because they do that. They adapt things for episodes, but they probably would never do something like this. But I think it would be a great episode because of all the monsters and crazy shit.
Yeah.
And in the book, if you remember, the illustrations like have like a white border around them, but as every illustration gets bigger and bigger until like the border expands and then like it expands to the second page and like basically like the actual world you see grow and take over like the whole book.
Yeah.
I think you could do a thing where when Max bites his mother and is sent to bed or sent to a room without food, like you can see things start to turn solid like stop motion.
Yeah.
Like maybe the dog is stop motion or like something like out the window is stop motion. Like you just like, so have that thing that the book does where like it slowly transitions And like I liked the movie version of Where the Wild Things Are. I've only seen it once, and it seems like no one in the world but me cared about it.
I thought it was cool, but it doesn't really lend itself to a 2-hour movie, though.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I think this would work. Like, it's a very simple story. Like, he bites the mother. He gets sent to the room. He imagines going on a boat ride and going to a place with all these monsters. They hang around for a while. He becomes king of the wild things. At one point, he tells them, "I'll eat you up," which I always interpret as like, in his mind, it's him processing in his mind that he bit his mother, but he still loves her.
Yeah.
And then he goes to like punish the wild things. And then my favorite line, "Please don't go. I'll eat you up. I love you so."
Yeah.
And then he goes back, and then the food is there. So it's only been like
and it's still
an
warm.
hour, and it's still warm. Right. So I think, why not? Because they've done fantasy on Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, it's the love part of Love, Death, and Robots.
I think it would be a perfect like little 10-minute thing. I don't know. I think it would be awesome.
I think it would also be like we do have like a lot of this original content there. So just having that, like, it's like,
why not?
It's like your favorite band doing a cover song.
Yeah. Like, especially because it's like, I feel like at this point, Love, Death, and Robots has established not one particular style, because there are many different styles, but the kind of thing that's possible in that show. And I feel like through that lens, doing the story that you all knew as kids, and Maurice Sendak like has said, like, he does think that there's something dangerous and sexual about the wild things, like, not without like making it gross. Like, you could lean a little bit into that. Like, when he gets to Where Wild Things Are, you could try to like make it seem dangerous. Like, there is some danger there, which is what makes the story interesting, because it's like it shows that like children are complex. Like, inside their minds and their imaginations, like, there is danger there.
It's just it manifests into just these monsters. So
yeah, I think it would be good. That's my idea.
I love it.
Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are, adapted by Love, Death, and Robots.
Please do it.
Yes. And if you like Love, Death, and Robots, go and check out our Love, Death, and Robots episodes that me and Janine have done. All of this up on the feed. Hey, you know what? First of all, if you listen to this, thank you. Why don't you like and subscribe and share it with your friends? Write us a review on iTunes and or Apple Podcasts. And then go and look up on the feed. There's no paywall. Every episode from the first episode to now is all available to you, and look for things you like.
And you know what, Mike? What I've just found out on Spotify was that you pull the menu down. There's a search bar. So if you're not into scrolling around and like just channel surfing, type in something that you like. Yeah. There might be an episode there with the thing that you like.
Absolutely.
You put in Mario, there's going to be like 13 episodes.
Yeah. Yes. That's goddamn right. All right. Give me one of your ideas.
All right. Hold on to your hats.
All right. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Now, you got to meet me halfway on this, because it's been a long time since I've seen Gremlins 2. So I'm basing a lot of my knowledge off of the Key and Peele episode.
Sketch. Sure.
But I do know that Gizmo is a Mogwai.
Yes. And
that after a certain, if it's mistreated in a certain way, it turns into a gremlin. It reproduces if it gets wet. So I know the rules of. So that's what this is based off of.
Okay.
So after Gremlins 2, they see what the disaster of testing the Mogwai and Gremlins are, and like genetically engineering them. So what they do is they search for more of the related species of Mogwai. And in the Eastern country where Gizmo was from, or the Mogwais were from, they found another Mogwai, or what they believed was a Mogwai. It was another short or a tiny, fuzzy animal that had limited speech. And if mistreated in a certain way, or if it experienced a certain thing, it also turned more aggressive and stronger and more dangerous.
I don't know where you're going. Where are you going?
Gizmo's a Pokemon.
Wow.
And the gremlin is the evolved form.
Yes, of course. Wow. Yes.
So they get a Pikachu.
Yes.
And the Pikachu turns into a Raichu. And the rest is history, Mike.
I don't know why you asked me to meet you halfway. This makes total sense to me.
And
Wow,
And
the
Gizmo-
evolution thing is so correct.
Gizmo's a
too.
water type Pokemon because
Yes.
Gizmo clones in water.
Fuck yeah.
And it's like a little like water lizard thing. Let's talk about Pokemon for a little bit and how it lends itself to other media too, because that's all I got for that.
Sure.
But okay, so Pokemon, we're going to come back full circle.
Yeah.
Frozen Empire.
Yes.
Is Garaka a Pokemon? How does he get captured?
He's in like a Pokeball.
And in turn in that, is it containment grid or are ghost traps?
Right.
Because-
Basically, yeah.
Those are just ghost type Pokemon. Do they just catch ghost? No. They catch
Yeah.
all interdimensional beings.
That's true.
Is the containment grid just a massive Pokeball?
Yes, is what I'm going to say.
So,
Goddamn yes.
look, this isn't a pitch. This is just a Gremlins, Pokemon, and Ghostbusters are all one and the same.
I'm with you. Have you seen or have your children watched any of the stop motion show Pokemon Concierge? Is that what it's called? Or Pokemon Resort? I forget what it's called.
Concierge. It
Yeah.
looks very charming. My kids are like kind of like into Pokemon as like an aesthetic, but like they're not
Sure.
into any of the shows
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything. So like we're starting to play video games like Smash Brothers. They won't choose
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Pokemon, but like it's like they know of its existence, but we're not into it.
It's real for children. So like I didn't get into it, but I was like, I gotta get some eyes on this just for the animation. And it's stop motion. And it's that sort of like soft stop motion that Rolakamo has.
Okay.
It's just a cool way to see Pokemon designs. Like it's very cool. By the way, I'm not the first one. I think IO9 wrote an article about this recently, which is like, where's that Pokemon cinematic universe? Like, Detective Pikachu was supposed to be the opening of it, and that movie did good.
Yeah. COVID.
And yeah, but like they've done Concierge, and then there's like, it's not in America yet, but there's like a drama Pokemon show where like it's about a girl who's, I think she's going to college or she just graduated from college, and her like Game Boy Advance like is like magically like telling her like it's in the real world and Pokemon exists as a video game, but Pokemon like is guiding her. It's some weird thing. So they do weird
That's
things.
weird.
They do interesting things, but you feel like do another movie. Like
Yeah.
I really like the way the Pokemon looked in the movie.
Or also like just have the Pokemon fight. Like just do what the game does. You know?
Or exactly, that's true. Or going with your idea, like what made Gremlins so charming is that it's puppets. Like do fucking Pokemon like that. Do
That would
fucking
be so
puppets.
cool.
Do fucking puppets.
They did it with the Dark Crystal.
Yes. Yes, indeed, they did.
They could absolutely do that.
You
That
can
would be
use
so
much with
interesting.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why, because like Janine and I were talking about it today, and we were like, oh, the Ghost and Ghostbusters are just ghost type Pokemon. Because
Yes, it's true.
it rang a bell because she was like, don't.
But they don't make them fight each other.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
But Peter would. If Peter could see like money out of it, he'd do that shit. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, that is exactly right.
But yeah, I would.
Did you just see
that.
Frozen Empire? Or are you just going off of the episode of PCMC about it?
I'm going off of. I saw a picture of what looked like an archaic Pokeball.
Yes.
So it was like, but
That's what it is.
I'm going off of the episode. I'm going off of all the trailers I pieced together and all the reviews and everything.
Yeah.
But it will be watched. I think probably tomorrow night since it is
out.
on digital now.
Yes, it is.
The kids want to watch it. They love the Afterlife.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Afterlife's a better film than Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
Although this one has the firehouse. It feels more like a Ghostbuster movie.
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to love it.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to know what you think of it. Goddamn, like you just saying Pokemon opens up so much because you could cross Pokemon with so much shit,
Yeah.
and it's just it's an endless amount of like.
And I'm not even a fan.
I mean, me
But I'd
neither.
love to
But I
see
think
them
it's because
everywhere.
I think it's my age. I think like as it was beginning to peak was like when I was like getting interested in jerking off and like going out.
You know what? Gross, number one.
Oh, true.
Number two. I think it was just like it was my age, right? Like we were 6th grade when it launched, but I only had the brick battery eating Game Boy.
Oh, okay.
Like-
you didn't watch the anime.
No, I didn't watch the anime.
See, Jen was into it. Jen watched the anime. There's a new anime, by the way, that people say is good. People are like, oh, you gotta watch the new one. It's like I haven't.
I heard
Okay,
it's good too. I'm not a fan of anime. Don't listen to the last episode.
the last episode would say otherwise. That's so interesting. But like even a mashup idea, like why not do Gremlins like an anime? How
That
about
would be cool.
Miyazaki does this? I'm just making this up right now.
I think-
Miyazaki does Gremlins.
Look, we all know how your brother feels about AI, but I have the Midjourney subreddit where it's like Midjourney's like all the art created and stuff.
Yeah.
And the one thing I love so much is the Studio Ghibli illustrations of certain universes.
Yeah.
And they've had it as Gremlins. They do
Really?
They do Studio Ghibli, Zelda.
I haven't
they do
seen any of
Star
that. I gotta see
Wars.
some of
Like
that. That's
yeah,
really cool.
Like these things are so like they did Studio Ghibli like X-Men and like really cool stuff, and it's so unique. And all they do is all it is a
I know
prompt.
it's crazy.
It's insane.
I really love those like trailers of like what if Star Wars was in the 50s?
Yeah.
So like or Anthony
Abandoned
sent me one the
films,
other day.
I
It was
think
like
it is.
Scream. What if Scream was like a 50s horror movie?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so my next one is one that never happened.
Okay.
The Monsters Meet the Addams Family.
You know what?
This never happened.
But you think that it did?
You think that it would, and
Yeah.
I, being a fan of both, I know it didn't happen. But I even was like, let me just check, and I Googled, and it didn't happen. I found a subreddit of someone being like, "Did this never happen? Why did this never happen?"
Is it because I
It's
think
got to be rights. It's got to be. I think. Wait, I think they were on opposite each other on two different networks. I think they were direct competitors.
But I mean, like, wasn't that in a time of good fun that, like, you know, just
No,
like
I think they fucking
sportsmanship?
hated each other. I think it was like I win and you like. I don't know.
Is it because like Lily and Morticia were the same person?
Well, that's that in my sort of story. So mine is like a 70s style TV movie with the original cast of each show. It's in black and white. So some exploitative like TV game show is doing like the coolest family in America, but it's really like the weirdest family. But both of them join the contest. And the prize is a trip to Transylvania. And then we just have pairs. Herman pairs up with Gomez. Uncle Fester pairs up with Grandpa. Eddie Munster develops a crush on Wednesday. I don't think she should have yelled at Eddie Munster. He didn't yell at Eddie Munster. I've seen this a bunch of times. Lily and Morticia get together and realize that they look very alike and realize that they don't have very distinct personalities. So they go and try to get distinct personalities. Or maybe Lurch and Herman find out that they're cousins. They both have body parts from similar people because they're both Frankensteins.
God. First off, Eddie Munster shouldn't have been dancing in those tables.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I love this. Lurch, I always take out of the mix of the Addams Family, but like now, wow.
I mean, he is, and the Addams Family is better. It is. It's smarter. It's classier. I mean, really, what people don't realize, the Monsters is made by Universal. It was a way of like being like, let's just use what we own already.
Yeah,
and like
make it a family.
Yeah, find a new version of doing Universal Monsters. And whereas Addams Family is like, it's basically just like xenophobia against Europeans. It's just like weird Europeans. But when it comes down to brass tacks, both are, a lot of the comedy is exactly the same.
It is.
It's weird family. We somehow don't realize that we're weird, but people are afraid of us and react to us weirdly, and we don't get it.
You know, I think that we thought that there was a crossover because, like, I could have sworn that the staircase was in the Addams Family house. You know, like there's like so many similarities and stuff.
Right.
Like the staircase that
They
like
both
opened
live
up
in
and
haunted
stuff.
houses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
One,
they're the same show.
the patriarch is a vampire or the matriarch is a witch.
Yeah.
It is the same show. But you know what? I got a different crossover with the exact two same families that like you kind of got to, and I'm like, no, this is what I want to see. And longtime contributor to the show, Vin Forte, who loves 90s exploitive shows, would be right on board with this. Remember the show Wife Swap?
Yes.
Think about that for those two families. That would be amazing.
But they wouldn't even notice.
No, they wouldn't.
It'd be like, oh,
That's the joke.
oh, you're not my wife? Oh. And if somehow you could get like a cameo from Elvira in there, and like the three of them are like,
She's the host of the show.
Yes. Yeah. Never happened. And this is one that I wanted to happen as a kid. When you just dream up things and want them to be real. I was like, why has this never happened? because you don't think about ownership and shit like that.
Yeah, and the internet doesn't exist yet, and there's not 20 people that agree with you, and then you get a whole message board about it.
In terms of where the franchises are now, I mean, one is clearly the winner. You've got the Munsters had the
They've tried so many times.
And the last one was that Rob Zombie movie, which, real bad.
So that
And
was
then
after the Mockingbird Lane, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I didn't hate Mockingbird. I thought that was a fun, weird pilot.
And that was Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah, and that was by the guy who did Better Off Dead and Better Off Ted.
Mm-hmm.
What's his? Oh, the guy who did Brian Fuller, who did Hannibal.
Okay,
he was the producer of it. Yeah, I mean the and I was gonna say Wednesday is like really big. So like Addams Family is obviously winning this war.
Yeah.
I mean, I've thought about this before. The real way to do either of these shows is what you do in the shadows. Like if you wanted to do updated Monsters or Addams Family, it's got to be like what we do in the shadows. Just take the idea seriously.
Yeah.
Have Grandpa be murdering people and like leaving dead bodies around and shit like that.
Yes, make it horrific, but also tongue in cheek.
Yes,
you know, because like, oh, this is the dark version of it, but it's also really fucking funny.
Right. You could also, I've also thought about like instead of doing it with the TV cast, like to me the real classic Addams Family cast or the movies like Raul Julia and stuff.
That's the definitive Addams Family.
Yeah, like maybe have them cross over with not the Rob Zombie ones, Munsters, but
the Mockingbird Lane.
Yeah, Mockingbird Lane. Yeah. You know, they filmed it as a pilot and then it didn't go to series and then they released the pilot just as like a Halloween special, which I watched. I was excited about it and I watched it and I loved it. And I had Chinese food while I was watching it. And
decadent.
I remember it so well. And I wish that had gone. I really wish that had gone. I feel like now, when was that?
How many
10 years ago?
Yeah.
12 years ago, something like that? Like
Yeah,
no, it's
within a
2012. So
All
it's like 12 years ago. Now that would be a good 8 episodes on like Netflix.
Yeah, but
People would be into it.
That would be the amount that I would watch, and then that's it. Though. Yeah, like it's like you get it after that.
Eddie Izzard's grandpa, come on.
But you know what? I think 1 episode is enough of it. Like it's like, wow, look at this.
More.
This is cool. I'm glad that you're here, and you know, thanks for coming.
Not me. I wanted more. I needed more. So what do you got? I have one more. Yes. So I have one more now.
I got one more, but like I have a couple of rapid fire ones.
Tell me some rapid fire ones.
All right. So do you remember the game Myst?
Yes, I do. I never played it, but I remember it.
Anybody who had a good PC back in 1997, it was that click adventure that was like photorealistic and it was amazing. Well, I'm just saying, what if one of the doors in Myst led you down into Rapture, which is the city in BioShock? Right? Cool.
Yeah.
That's one. I think the alien xenomorphs should be in the Metroid franchise. I think that the creator of it thought the same thing because one of the villains in it is Ridley. And I think that Samus, she would have made...
It's Rambo versus Alien.
Yeah.
That's what that series is. Well,
you just gave me a better crossover.
they did it. It's
fucking, that's Predator.
Yeah.
And supergroups. Like I wanted to do a music one, but like I think really give one that was like had good legs to stand on. But like you have bands like Temple of the Dog, which was Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. Made new songs and it ended up being good, or Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine. They did songs of those both bands and it sounded great, but they also were a successful band. So I was like, what would be another great supergroup? I have a random one here, but like the surviving members of Nirvana with Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo as the guitarist and singer. I don't know.
That's fun.
I just think that it would be cool with the pop rock of Pat Benatar and the rhythm section of Nirvana. Why not?
Did you see Courtney Love, who knew she was alive, said something like negative about Taylor Swift, and it's like, Courtney Love.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Who are you? First of all, why does anyone care what you think at all? I mean, what did? I don't know.
Your cloud ended with People versus Larry Flint. Like you did a great job. You were very good at it.
Yeah,
and then
you did a few good movies, basically playing yourself.
Take your bow.
Yeah. Any other rapid fires?
Those were my rapid fires.
All right, tell me your last one.
My last one. I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
It has to happen.
Okay.
It's a video game.
Yeah.
Nintendo did it. Nickelodeon did it. Warner Brothers did it. They're mascot fighters, right? Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
All-Star Brawl is the Nickelodeon one where, the Ninja Turtles fight SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom Clash has to happen. I'm calling it Magic Kingdom Clash.
Okay.
It's just, I don't want to get oversaturated and put all of Disney properties like Star Wars and those could be DLCs later on, but like a fighter game that has Mickey, that has like Mulan, that has like, I think
there is something like this.
There's the Disney, oh God, what is it called? Mirrorverse? It's not a fighter though. Oh. It's not a brawl fighter.
Oh, okay.
Like we're talking like a platform fighter where you're not like a clone of Smash Brothers.
You're murdering each other. You're beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, and you're knocking them off the.
Right.
It's
Disney would
Smash
never
Brothers,
do that.
but with Disney.
Right.
Well, no, we're not like in a Mortal Kombat way. Like Nintendo did it perfectly. It's one of the most successful games. They've already copied the Racer game. They've already copied one other one.
They have one now that's like Stardew Valley or
or like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah.
So the next step, obviously, is to do the mascot fighter. Like, come on, how great would it be? Like, you have, I had so many. Put Dipper and Mabel Pines as like a double character together, like as like the ice climber character.
Okay.
Or
would you also have like the Fab Four, like Mickey?
You would have like those would have to be. Okay. Yeah, no, and like the thing is, you could always like switch their skins too, so it would be like Steamboat Willie, public domain.
Well, and I've never played any of these games. Isn't what's that game? What's the game that they're in?
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, isn't that
Sora is in Smash Brothers? Yes.
But isn't Kingdom Hearts Disney? Isn't that a crossover of Disney and Final Fantasy? Or is
yes,
it just
Disney and SquareSoft.
Okay.
SquareSoft makes the Final Fantasy games.
Are there Final Fantasy characters in those games though, or is it just similar? Shit?
There are.
Oh, there are.
Like Sephiroth's in it, Cloud's in it. Again, I'm not a fan of anime. I don't know any of this stuff, but it's there.
Right.
I swear.
Right.
But
that would be. that would be a lot of fun.
I mean, think about like playing as Maleficent, or
you just
like,
have to make it that no one can really get hurt. Like that would be the fun of it. Like
you just bump them off the stage. Like that's it. Like nobody's getting hurt.
Donald Duck you
just gotta knock him off.
Has like a big mallet that he just hits you with.
Think about Pete or Willie. Just like the whole Disney universe is at your disposal. Like Buzz Lightyear as a fighting character.
But then you got all the cool villains.
Yeah.
Like fucking Ursula. She could do like some weird like
Chernobog's the last villain is the final boss.
Yes. I'm this could happen. Something like this could
I think it's going to happen. But like I'm just trying to will this into existence right now. I want it. I will buy it. I will pay handsomely for it. And the DLC will have the Marvel pack and the Star Wars pack.
Sure.
And the National Geographic pack with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? He can come too. And then Hulu will shoehorn its way in there too, and then scare my children when there's a thumbnail for American Horror Story when they just want to watch Paw Patrol.
Has that happened?
Yeah. Disney Plus now puts American Horror Story as one of the thumbnails.
Wow.
Thanks, Hulu. Jerks. There's a crossover I didn't want. I already got Hulu at home, Mike.
That's damn right.
All right, what's your last one?
My last one, and this is one that I had a hard time with because it does exist in some way, but not really. It exists in a calendar, but not as a real story. And this one, I gotta tell you, this is my favorite one. This is one I'm most excited about because I think this one could actually be amazing. The Muppets Frankenstein, a la Treasure Island and Christmas Carol. Now, there was a 1981 TV special called Muppets Go to the Movies that had like a Frankenstein parody in it.
Okay.
And then in 1982, there was a Miss Piggy calendar that I guess probably October. It was just a still image of Miss Piggy as the Bride of Frankenstein and Kermit as Frankenstein monster.
Kermit. Okay.
But it's never really been done. My idea is Kermit is Victor Frankenstein. He's not the monster. He's the doctor. Animal is Igor.
Perfect.
Miss Piggy is Victor's beloved Elizabeth, who then becomes the bride. Gonzo is the monster. Fozzie is the blind hermit. Actually, no, I have here Janice as the bride. In a surprise cameo, Elmo is the child that Frankenstein accidentally kills. But if we can't get Elmo, we'll use Robin. So I'm also taking from I'm taking from the books. I'm taking from the original James Whale movies.
So they're not going to be acting against humans, like
right, like Tim Curry or Michael Caine.
yeah.
Maybe, but who would you make the human?
I was thinking Victor, but I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
but then what are you going to do with Kermit?
And then what do you do with Victor's wife? She would also have to be person.
No,
Yeah.
not in Muppet World, babe.
Well, I don't. What if you make the monster? No, I was gonna say, what if you make the monster a human? But.
Oh, but I could see Waldorf and Statler like just like.
Oh yes, I
mocking
forgot
like,
to have them in here too.
Oh,
They're the good and bad professor in the book Frankenstein. I guess this is probably an homage to the Legend of Dr. Faustus, where it's like the good demon and the bad demon on your shoulder. When Victor Frankenstein's in college, this is almost never adapted in any version, but when he's in college in the book, he has a professor that like encourages him to do what he does, and a professor who tells him to not do it.
yeah.
So I said that's Waldorf and Statler for sure.
Or like Sam the Eagle.
Yes.
I could see like because I think oh god, who plays him in?
Sam the Eagle could be good if you bring in like the constable character. That could be Sam the Eagle.
I think we got to bring Kenneth Branagh back as Victor Frankenstein, have him reprise his role.
He didn't play for. Oh no, he did play Victor Frankenstein,
did.
didn't he? Yeah, he directed it and put himself in it.
And then what's called played the professor? Ian Holm.
And you had De Niro as the fucking monster.
De Niro as the monster.
I have seen that only once. I've seen Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula a bunch of times, but I have not revisited Frankenstein. I wonder if it's good.
It rode off the coattails of.
It's very much.
Yeah.
It very much is.
It's not.
It's not good.
It's like cool for the time, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna compare the two, like the Coppola
Yeah.
is leaps and bounds. But Muppets need to do more crossovers.
Well,
Like period.
there was this time period in the 90s where they did Christmas Carol, which is their best movie everyone knows.
Yes, and the best Christmas Carol.
And yes, and Treasure Island, which I didn't love at the time, but people have affection for it. And then did a TV version of Wizard of Oz, which no one remembers or cares about.
No.
But it was a smart idea that they were doing that, like doing literary adaptations. This one I had a hard time with because this is what I was struggling with. Like I was thinking about like Robin Hood, but that was done in comics.
Yeah.
I thought Dracula for a second. My very first idea, this isn't a literary classic, but my very first idea was The Muppets Princess Bride. But that has been memed and done like as video parodies a bunch of times. Like I really was into that idea for a while. I had that idea written down for a few days. And then when I Googled it and found so many versions of that, I was like, I can't do it.
They could also kind of like teeter on the same line of like, you could swear you saw a Muppet in The Princess Bride, you know? Like,
Right. Yeah. Of course that
But
exists.
I think that was a Simpsons joke actually with Troy McClure.
Yeah.
But I love Gonzo as the monster. That's perfect.
Right. Because, I want a sympathetic monster.
Yeah.
I'm also very proud of the Fozzie as the old blind.
Yeah,
hermit.
that just took me out.
That I think that would be real. I mean, because what makes Christmas Carol so good is that like the casting's so good. Like them, like it's very smart the way they cast it.
I love the fact that it's like this heavy narrative of like playing God what we can do versus what we shouldn't do and stuff, and it's the fucking Muppets doing
Absolutely.
it. Like,
the other one that this one I think is cool, but it's literally just a meme. It's literally just a joke. I think it was a tweet that became viral. It was the Rocky Horror Muppet Show, which not my idea, but goddamn, that would be great.
I mean, Janice
You
has
could
to
put
be
them in
riff-raff.
anything. I mean, really, you could do anything as Muppets. It would be great.
I think Dr. Teeth. I think the Electric Mayhem Show is just the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I only watched like one episode of that. I could not get into that.
It ebbs and flows. It
Yeah.
does. Like there's weak episodes and then there's strong episodes, and it's just like you'll have a strong episode, and be like, oh god, I got to keep watching this.
I love that they did something.
Yeah.
That they actually tried something with the Muppets. Like, but it didn't do it for me.
You know what? I think they're good in small bites. I think like when they tried to do that Office one,
Yeah.
it wasn't really like it was canceled pretty quickly. It was funny.
Yeah, I
but,
love
like,
that show.
Um,
It got way better. It got better. I actually feel like that's a hidden gem
yeah.
in the Muppet mythos. But yeah, it didn't. People didn't want it. I don't. They're a hard franchise because they're a franchise, but also like they're more franchises like dolls and calendars and shit. You know what I mean? Like
They're nice to have, but you don't want to follow them.
right. And Disney is not really known what to do with them or put that much effort into doing anything with them.
Well, they could go into My Fighter.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is like why they should do it. Like the 90s, you had these two, Treasure Island and Christmas Carol. Like it was a smart idea to be like literary adaptation with the Muppets. And this is the one where I was going through so many ideas. I was talking to a friend of mine and we were like, Jane Eyre with the Muppets, like fucking Pride and Prejudice with the Muppets.
Well, that's the thing. It's like what's something that's entertaining enough, that's serious enough, because like
but
gotta
also
put them
not so serious that a child would be like, I don't. Like you couldn't do like Wuthering Heights Muppets or like Catcher in the Rye with Muppets.
No, you can't.
But yeah, those are my dream crossovers, and I really think that would be a knockout idea. If you heard today, oh, they're doing the Muppets Frankenstein, you'd be like, that's a fucking good idea.
Look, they did it with the Haunted Mansion. Just put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Right? We watch the Haunted Mansion all the time. Muppets Now, like the one where it was like the streaming like 6-episode thing. Why that was good was because it was like little skits.
Yeah.
Like
which is what the Muppet Show was. It was sketches.
And that's when they were originally huge.
Yeah. I agree.
That's what they need to be. They need to be that, and then just have like a
Muppets
movie.
Tonight. They need to do something like that again.
Yeah,
sketches. Yeah, I liked Muppets Now. The cooking show with the fucking
Swedish Chef was amazing.
Yeah, and the turkey who was the host who would laugh and then it would turn into a gobble. That's hilarious.
Oh God, what was the other thing? There was like an interview with Seth Rogen. Who was interviewing him? But like there were the tiny pigs where he's like, these are really bad kids.
Yes,
Seth Rogen. That was really bad.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see some of these come true.
Yeah, I would love it.
And if you have ideas, drop us a fucking slide into our DMs over on fucking Instagram and let me know your ideas. I'd be excited to hear them. And if this is your first episode of PCMC, welcome. You're a friend. You're a friend now that you've listened to this. And go up on the feed and find all sorts of a lot of things we talked about today. Ghostbusters, Gremlins. Fucking we've talked. A lot of this shit has been episodes of PCMC.
We just mashed them all together today.
Yes, Bill, this was a wonderful episode. Thank you so much for being here.
I had a lot of fun, Mike.
Bill, are you still doing your podcast?
Rock Pops. I'm not doing Rock Pops right now, but we do have 12 episodes of Rock Pops. It's me and Joe Pecora. We are in this band called Red Fox. We have 12 episodes up on YouTube right now. They were on Spotify, and but you can find them on YouTube. If we get a couple more views, maybe we'll do 12 more. We're still working together in another capacity, and
fantastic.
It's fun. It's about two dads playing in bands and being in bands, and we rock pops, pop rocks. That's why we did it, and now I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Yeah, you can check us out at Rock Pops Pod on Twitter.
Bill, we end every episode by saying,
in the animal voice,
oh, bye-bye.